Stephen Curry stands on the court, practicing free throws. The gym is mostly empty, except for a few staff and volunteers. A quiet moment before the storm of media and fans. It was just another day at the practice facility. Nothing out of the ordinary. Stephen Curry, focused as ever, sinking shot after shot. But what happened next would shake even the toughest athlete in the league. A girl watches from the sidelines. She's nervous, clutching something in her hand. Her eyes never leave Curry. Her name is Maya. She's 14 years old, quiet, shy, but that day she had the courage to do something that would change her life forever. Curry walks off the court, towel around his neck. He's heading toward the locker room. Maya steps forward. She didn't ask for a selfie, didn't want an autograph. Instead, she reached into her pocket, pulled out a folded piece of paper, and slipped it into Stephen Curry's hoodie pocket. She does it quickly, then she steps back. No words, just wide eyes and a pounding heart. Curry didn't notice right away. He kept walking. He had no idea what he was carrying. Not yet. Later, alone in the locker room, Curry changes clothes. His hand brushes the paper. He pulls it out. He unfolded it slowly. Read every word, and then something incredible happened. His eyes fill with tears. He reads it again. Then again, he wipes his face. He's not acting. This is real. The note was short, only a few sentences, but it hit him harder than any injury, any loss, any pressure he'd ever faced. Maya waited outside, unsure if he'd even read it. Minutes pass. Then the door opens. Curry walked out, eyes still red. He looked straight at her, walked over, spoke softly. "Yi Sang's thank you," he said. "That meant more than you'll ever know." They hugged, a moment caught on camera by someone nearby, a moment that would soon go viral. But what could a 14-year-old girl possibly write that would make one of the greatest basketball players in the world break down in tears? We don't know exactly what the note said, not word for word, but sources close to Curry say it was deeply personal. It touched something raw inside him. Maya lost her older brother 2 years ago. He was her hero, her biggest fan. He wore Curry's jersey every game day. He taught her how to shoot, how to believe. When he passed, Maya stopped playing, stopped smiling, stopped trying. Then one night she saw Curry give an interview. He talked about overcoming pain, about using loss as fuel, about how the people we love never really leave us. Something clicked. She started shooting again. Slowly at first, then every day. She watched every Warriors game, wore the jersey again, felt like part of her brother was still with her. And then came the chance to meet Curry. He didn't plan it, but when she saw him she knew she had to say thank you, not just for the basketball, but for giving her hope when she had none left. That's what the note said. That's why Curry cried. He understood. He knew what it felt like to lose someone who believed in you. His father, Del Curry, was his own childhood hero, and though Del is still alive, Stephen has talked openly about how much his support shaped him. To see a young girl find strength through his example, to know he helped carry someone else's dream forward, that hit deeper than any trophy or title ever could. The video of their hug spread fast. Fans flooded social media. Everyone wanted to know, who is this girl? What did she write? Maya didn't expect attention. She just wanted to say thanks. But now, the world knows her story, and Stephen Curry, he didn't stop there. Weeks later, Maya got a surprise package. Inside was a signed jersey, a handwritten letter, and a ticket to a Warriors game. She sat courtside, watched Curry play, and during warm-ups, he found her in the crowd, pointed, smiled, shot a three, made it. For her. After the game, they met again, hugged again, and this time, Curry told her something she'll never forget. "You keep going," he said. "No matter what, you honor your brother, you honor the people who believed in you. Keep playing, keep fighting." And she did. Today, Maya plays high school ball. She's not just a fan anymore. She's a player, a leader, a believer, all because of a note, a simple act of courage, and a man who showed her that heroes are real. Sometimes all it takes is one moment, one word, one connection, to change everything. You're back. Good. Let's keep going. We left off with Maya and Stephen Curry's emotional moment in the locker room. The hug, the tears, the note that changed everything. But what most people didn't know was that this wasn't the first time something like this had happened to Curry. A few years earlier, during a tough season, Curry had lost his confidence, not just on the court, but in himself. He was coming off an injury. His team was struggling, and he was questioning whether he still belonged at the top. Then one night, he got a letter, no return address, just a simple envelope with his name on it. Inside was a drawing from a young boy, a stick figure version of Curry holding a basketball. Underneath it the boy wrote, "You taught me how to be brave. Now I'm teaching myself how to be strong." Curry read that letter twice, then he folded it up and kept it in his bag for weeks. He never talked about it publicly, but those close to him say that moment reminded him why he plays, not just for the fans, not just for the wins, but for the kids watching, the ones who need someone to look up to. So when Maya slipped that note into his hoodie pocket, it wasn't just random, it was familiar. It was déjà vu, and that's why he couldn't hold back the tears. After their meeting, Curry didn't just walk away and forget about it. That's not who he is. A few days later, Maya's school got a surprise visit, not by a celebrity, but by someone who saw a piece of himself in her. Stephen showed up during gym class, walked right in like he belonged there. The kids screamed, teachers dropped their clipboards, but Curry just smiled, walked straight to Maya, and handed her a brand new basketball. "Keep shooting, even when it hurts." Then he stayed. For over an hour, he shot hoops with the students, gave tips, laughed, took photos, and then before he left, he pulled Maya aside. "I know what it feels like," he said, "to feel invisible, like no one sees you, like your pain doesn't matter, but it does, and you do." News of the school visit spread fast, but what came next surprised even Curry's closest team members. He called a meeting with his foundation staff, said he wanted to start something new, something not another charity event, not another giveaway. He wanted a program, one that connected athletes directly with kids who were hurting, kids who had lost someone, kids who felt alone, kids who needed hope. He called it the Note Project, inspired by Maya's courage, inspired by the letter he once received. The idea was simple. Fans could write notes to athletes, tell them what they were going through, share their struggles, and in return, athletes would respond, not with autographs or free tickets, but with real honest words, words that mattered. Hundreds of letters poured in, from all over the country. One girl wrote about losing her mother to cancer, another wrote about being bullied every day at school. A boy shared how his father was in prison, and he felt forgotten, and every single one got a reply. From NBA players, NFL stars, Olympians, UFC fighters, even singers and actors joined in, because everyone knows what it feels like to hurt, and everyone remembers the person who helped them heal. Each wish. Maya didn't know she'd started a movement. She was just trying to say thank you. Each wish. But soon she was getting messages, dozens, then hundreds, then thousands, kids writing to her saying, "Your story made me cry, but it also made me want to live again." Some sent her drawings, others shared stories of their own loss. Some just said, "Thank you for being brave." Maya read every message, every word, and slowly something inside her shifted. Before the note she had been stuck, frozen in grief, unable to move forward. Now, she was helping others find their way out of the darkness. That's when she decided to do more than just play basketball again. She wanted to speak, to share her journey, to let other kids know they weren't alone. Months later, Maya stood on a stage, in front of hundreds of students. She held a microphone. Her hands shook, but she didn't run. She told them about her brother, about how he used to take her to the park and teach her how to shoot, how he always wore Curry's jersey because he believed in what he stood for. She told them how she stopped playing after he passed, how she forgot how to smile, and then she told them about the note, and the moment that changed everything. When she finished, the crowd didn't cheer. They sat in silence. Then one student stood up, clapped, then another. Then the whole room was on its feet. Afterward, kids surrounded her, asking questions, sharing stories, crying, hugging. One little girl whispered, "I lost my dad too. He twush. But now I feel like I can talk about it." Maya hugged her tight and said, "You can, you should, because your story matters." Today, the Note project is still going strong. More athletes have joined, more lives have been touched. And Maya, she's not just a high school player anymore. She's a speaker, a writer, a voice for kids who feel unheard. She still talks to Curry sometimes. Texts, emails. Once he even FaceTimed her before a big game. He told her, "You gave me something I didn't know I needed." And maybe that's the most powerful part of this story. It wasn't just Maya who found strength. It was Curry too. Sometimes we think heroes are the ones giving support, but the truth is heroes need it too. And sometimes the smallest act of courage, like slipping a note into a pocket, can change two lives forever. You're back. Let's keep going. We've told you about the moment, the note, the tears, the hug, but there's more to this story. What most people don't know is that Stephen Curry didn't just read the note once. He read it again and again. That night he sat alone in his car for over an hour, staring at those words. His wife called. He didn't answer. When he finally walked inside his house, his youngest daughter ran up to him and asked why his eyes were red. He smiled, hugged her tight, and said, "Because someone reminded me of something I almost forgot." The next morning, Curry showed up at practice early, earlier than anyone else. He went straight to the court. No shoes, just socks. No music, just silence. And he shot. For over an hour, Coach Lacob arrived and watched from the doorway. He didn't say a word. Later, when asked what was different about Curry that day, Lacob said, "It was like he remembered why he plays." Curry never shared the exact words from Maya's note. Not publicly, not even with his closest teammates. But one source close to him revealed this. The note mentioned something deeply personal, something only a few people knew about Curry himself. Maya had written about loss, about how losing someone doesn't mean they're gone. But she also wrote about guilt. She said she sometimes felt guilty for being happy again, like smiling meant forgetting her brother, and that hit Curry harder than anything, because years earlier after a bad game he had told his father the same thing. Del Curry had looked at him and said, "Son, the people who love us want us to live, not just survive. Live." And now here was a 14-year-old girl saying the same thing, without even knowing it. That night, Curry texted Maya's mother. He didn't ask for permission. He didn't make it formal. He just said, "Can I come by? I need to talk to her." They met in her backyard, just them and her mom nearby. Curry sat on a bench beside Maya and said, "You don't owe anyone sadness. You don't have to be sad forever to prove you loved him." Maya started crying. So did he. He told her, "I used to think being strong meant not showing weakness, but real strength is letting yourself heal." Then he added, "Your brother would be proud of you, not because you stayed stuck in grief, but because you found your way forward." After that meeting, Maya began journaling every night. She didn't write about basketball. She wrote about her brother, her pain, her memories. One entry stood out. It read, "Today, I laughed, and it didn't feel wrong. It felt right." Her mom read it and cried. Later that week, Maya taped it to her mirror, just so she'd see it every morning. Back at the Warriors facility, something had changed. Curry was more focused, more present. His teammates noticed. Draymond Green pulled him aside and said, "Bro, what happened to you?" Takatru just smiled, said, "Someone gave me a piece of my heart back." No one understood what he meant, not yet, but soon they would. A few weeks later, the Warriors played a tough game against the Lakers. It was tied in the final seconds. Curry had the ball. Everyone expected the shot. But instead of taking it, he passed to a rookie, a young player who hadn't scored all game. The crowd gasped. Then the kid made the shot. Afterward, reporters swarmed Curry. Why pass? Why not take the shot? He looked at them and said, "Sometimes the best thing you can do is let someone else shine." People thought it was just a nice quote, but those who knew what had happened with Maya understood. He wasn't just talking about basketball. Soon after that game, Tarkatriti made his end. A new initiative through his foundation. It wasn't about money, or schools, or gyms. It was about stories. He called it the Light Project. Its mission helped kids share their stories, through writing, through art, through voice. He partnered with schools across the country, created safe spaces for students to speak about loss, fear, hope, and every month he read some of the letters himself. Some made him laugh, some made him cry. All of them reminded him why he does what he does. Maya became part of that project, not as a student, as a mentor. She started visiting schools, talking to kids who were where she once was. She didn't tell them to get over it. She didn't pretend it was easy. She just said, "You don't have to forget. You just have to keep going." And that message, it spread. More kids started sharing, writing, healing, because sometimes all it takes is one person to show you it's okay to feel again. Years later, Maya would look back on that day, standing in that locker room hallway, heart pounding, hands shaking. She had no idea what would happen next. She didn't expect a hug, or a jersey, or a movement. She just wanted to say thank you, but in doing so she reminded a global icon why he matters. And she reminded herself that time moves fast, but some moments, they stick with you forever. Maya is in college now, playing ball, studying psychology, dreaming of helping kids the way she was helped. And Stephen Curry, still playing like a legend, still inspiring millions, but every now and then they check in, a text, a call, a surprise visit to one of Maya's games. Curry was there when she scored her first college three-pointer. After the buzzer, he walked onto the court, handed her the ball. It had one word carved into it, "again," not because she needed it, but because he remembered what it felt like to need that push. This story didn't end in a locker room. It lives on in every kid who picks up a pen instead of giving up, in every athlete who realizes their power goes beyond the field, in every person who reads a note and feels seen for the first time in a long time. Sometimes all it takes is one moment, one connection, one act of courage, to change everything. If you made it this far, thank you. You didn't just watch a video, you lived a story, and maybe somewhere inside, you're holding on to something, a pain, a secret, a fear, or maybe you've forgotten how to hope. Wherever you are, keep going. Someone out there needs your light. If this story touched you, hit that like button, drop a comment, tell us what this made you feel. Tag someone who needs to hear this, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe, because stories like this, we're just getting started. There's more where this came from, much more.